Alycats and new viewers. So today is part 1 of my July 2017 favorites. If you're new to the channel and don't know what favorites are, that's where I list everything I loved in the entertainment industry, movies, TV shows, games, music, YouTube channels, whatever. And I always split these into 2 parts because I have way too many favorites for one person to naturally have because I have no life. But let's get started. The first thing that is my favorite of this month is the fact that it's freaking July, which means it's my birthday month! Woohoo! I always get excited about my birthday for some reason. Don't know why, because I'm getting older. Another favorite that's not entertainment related is my new tattoo. It says Je suis prêt, and that means I am ready in French. It's from Outlander, and it's Jamie Fraser's clan motto from the Love It side. You don't care about this. Okay, now I'm actually going to move on to the movies that I really love this month. If you would like to see the movies that I don't mention in my favorites, either follow my blog, alycatgeekery.com, or follow me on Letterboxd, where you can see where I rate movies and get a little sneak peek ahead of time. And also, if you follow me on there, I'll follow you back. But let's move on to my absolute favorite movies of the past couple weeks. First up is Hugo. This is based off the novel The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick. And this is about a young boy whose father has died in a tragic accident. And the only thing he has left of his father is this robot that they've been working on together. But the thing is, the robot isn't operational. It requires a key that is in the shape of a heart, and he has no idea where this key is. But one day he gets in trouble with this man, and he agrees to apprentice for this man in exchange for not being turned in to the authorities, because if he's turned in, he'll be labeled as an orphan and he'll have to live in an orphanage. And when he meets this man, that's when his life changes. And what I love about this film, and what I wasn't expecting from this film, was that it delves into the history of Georges Méliès, and I just found that so fascinating that they cover Georges Méliès, and I just loved the friendship between the young boy and the young girl. I loved how they explored how we're still tied to someone even if it's through an inanimate object. And I thought it was just a really well done film, something I wasn't expecting from Martin Scorsese, and I thought everyone in the film did a fantastic job acting. And it's a real treat of a film. Next up is Baby Driver. I actually did a review for this movie, so I'll have that linked up here, but I really loved it. It's my favorite Edgar Wright film so far. And I also really loved Okja, which I also reviewed and it will have linked up here. But also, again, I really enjoyed this. This one's more of a divisive film, but personally, I really loved Okja. The next movie up is a divisive film, and I can see why it's divisive, because it's very tough to watch. It covers a subject matter that is very, very tough just to fathom, but that is the Stanford prison experiment. This is based off a true story. What you see in this film is so just disgusting and dehumanizing that it makes you feel icky. But I really enjoyed the film because the acting was phenomenal. It has an amazing cast, including Billy Crudup, Michael Angarano, Ezra Miller, Nelson Ellis, rest in peace. I'm so sad about Nelson Ellis's passing, oh my gosh. But everyone in this film was so believable, and it was so heart-wrenching to watch. It's something that I don't see myself returning to, maybe ever. Or if I do, it's going to be a very long time, but it was a very powerful film with ace performances, and it really made me think, and it made me feel icky, and that's why I liked it. The next movie I really enjoyed was Spider-Man Homecoming. Again, I did a review for this film, so that's linked up here. It's my favorite Spider-Man film to date, though. Next is Leon the Professional. I freaking adore this film. This was one of the only Luc Besson films I hadn't seen yet. But I watched Leon the Professional and I freaking adored it. It did not end the way I expected it to, and I loved the bond between Leon and Matilda, and I thought Natalie Portman did such a fantastic job being 12 years old in this film. This was her first film role, I believe, and she just knocked it out of the park. It was just such an incredible film, and I just love Luc Besson as a director. So if you haven't seen Leon the Professional, definitely check it out because it's really fantastic. And the last film I want to mention for this part of the favorites is Their Finest. Now this is not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I personally really enjoyed it. If you love historical fiction and you love films about loving films, then Their Finest is going to be up your alley. It follows a woman named Katrin Cole, who is played by the wonderful, effervescent Gemma Arterton, and she has landed a job as a scriptwriter in London. She is writing a script for a film about 2 women who try to escape during Dunkirk. It made me feel empowered seeing such a beautiful, strong woman writing a film that people were just in love with and engaged with. And it also examines her relationship with a fellow scriptwriter, Tom Buckley, played by Sam Claflin, whom I always love in every movie ever. And it was just such a warm, cozy, enchanting film with some tragic moments, but overall it left me with a happy, optimistic feeling. Again, like I said, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Some people will find it too twee, some people will find it boring, but for me personally, I loved it because it's a film about loving film, it's historical fiction, it's got a romance tied up in it, and it's got a very strong, powerful woman with amazing performances across the board. So Their Finest is definitely one to check out if you love all those aspects. Now moving on to TV, there are quite a few TV shows, so I'll just go ahead and get started without jibber-jabbering too much. First up is Broadchurch. I know this already aired in the UK, but it's just now airing over here in the US, and I adore Broadchurch. And this season is tackling a different subject than the previous two seasons. And this could be a very triggering season for some people. I'm not going to say what it's about because 1, spoilers, 2, triggers. But it's fantastically done so far. David Tennant and Olivia Cullman again knock it out of the park as their respective detectives. And I'm just so enthralled with this case. I want to know what happens. I'm wondering what secrets that the person who is at the center of the investigation is holding, because it's obvious that she's holding secrets back from the police. And I'm just curious about who the actual culprit of this crime is. I just freaking love Broadchurch. If you haven't seen it and you love mystery shows, check out Broadchurch because it's so good. The next one up isn't a fantastic show, but it's a fun show, and that is The Mist. I freaking adored the film version of The Mist, so I went into this show with a lot of trepidation. But so far I'm really enjoying it. It's really different from the movie, and I'm glad about that fact. I'm glad that they didn't retread the movie. And it's fun. A lot of the dialogue is kind of laughable, and I've actually kind of poked fun at it while watching it, but it's really fun to watch, and I'm engrossed in the lives of the characters from this town, and I'm excited to see what happens, and if they get out of their respective safe places, and what happens when people start to go crazy. I'm just really excited to see the events unfold, and I'm just wrapped up in this show now. The next show up is Glow, Netflix's latest show. I'm sure most of you have already seen it if you have Netflix, but if you haven't, it's really worth a watch. Even if you're not into wrestling, which I'm not, this was a phenomenal show. Alison Brie as the main character Ruth was fantastic. This was her best performance to date, and I love the supporting actors and actresses as well, especially Brittany Young as Carmen. She imbued Carmen with so much charm and grace, but at the same time she was really relatable, and I loved Betty Gilpin as Ruth's best friend slash frenemy, Debbie. She was uptight, but you could see why she was uptight at the same time. And I really love seeing the women try to figure out how to be actresses in a fake wrestling show, and Mark Maron was also really, really good. He's crude, and some women aren't going to like his character, but I personally found him really funny, and I kind of saw beneath that crusty layer that he projects into the warm heart that's beneath, because there are moments where he redeems himself. But Mark Maron was utterly charming, and now I actually want to watch the show he was previously on called Maron. But Glow is something you should definitely watch if you love TV at all. And the last show is Castlevania, which is also a Netflix original. Now if you're a fan of the games, you're really going to love this show. Even if you're not a fan of the games, I think you'll really enjoy it. The only caveat about the show is it's only 4 episodes long. Each episode's 23 minutes long. So you can finish this in a little over an hour, and it leaves you on a major cliffhanger. It's just starting to set up characters and their motivations and what's going on in Wallachia and in Gresham. I'm just like, I need more! But luckily they have ordered 8 more episodes. The main character is Trevor Belmont, is voiced by Richard Armitage, who I adore so freaking much. Dracula is voiced by Graham McTavish, which I was like, holy shit, Graham McTavish, you're taking over the world, because first you're Dougal McKenzie in Outlander, then you're the Saint of Killers and Preacher, and now you're Dracula in fucking Castlevania. Ah! And James Callis is the voice of Alucard. I'm just really excited to see where this series continues, to see if it follows the trajectory of the games, and just to see more badass action, because it really does leave you on a cliffhanger. So if you're going to watch Castlevania, know that you're not going to get tons out of the 4 episodes you're seeing. That's really setting up for a major plot point and for the story to continue, and you're going to have to wait a little bit. So you might want to take that into consideration before watching it, because you're going to be left feeling a little unsatisfied. but it's phenomenally done. The animation's beautiful, the voice acting's fantastic, and I loved Castlevania. I just want more of it. And all the music I adored is in the description box down below, so give the songs a listen and let me know what you think. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, leave a like. Let me know what your favorites have been so far this month down below in the comment box. Share the video if you liked it because that helps my channel grow. Also, if you're not subscribed yet but you like what you see and heard, hit that subscribe button down there, and also make sure you tap the notification bell if you haven't already done so, because you'll be alerted every time I upload a new video, and you'll get extra love from me. If you'd like to follow me on social media sites, they're all listed down below in the description box. I hope you have a wonderful day. You're always my favorites. Peace and kisses. Bye.
What do you mean Frank Randall is better than Jamie Fraser? You are out of your mind!
I'm so sorry you had to hear that argument, guys. But to make up for that fact, my face will be floating over here in the near future. You can click that face and it'll send you to my channel if you aren't already. And if you'd like to see my previous upload, you'll find that up here, and a playlist of videos that you can watch over and over on repeat over here. And yeah, I need to go back to the invisible person I was talking to and debate why Jamie Fraser is better than Frank Randall.